Hi, my name is Rodney. I'm a cello teacher in Colorado, and I was asked to share a couple ideas about shifting on the cello. So presumably I'm talking to young cellists who, if you've played very long, you know cellists have to shift a lot, and it can be sort of complicated. So I'll just start right in with the first question I want to ask is, where do we shift? Well, we move around the cello on our transportation system. Well, what's that? That would be the inside edges of the strings. Put 3 fingers, if you have a cello, put 3 fingers between the top 2 strings, and then just pull a little bit to the left so you're touching the A string, and feel how smooth that, how comfortable that is to slide up and down. It's very cool to be moving on the cello that way. Lots of reasons. It gets your elbow up out of the way so that this part of your cello isn't in the way. You don't get trapped back there. And it gets you up on the fingerboard, balanced where you belong, and you get a little guardrail to keep you from falling off the side of the fingerboard. If I add, so let's just do it. Go up to the bridge and down to the scroll. Up to the bridge and down to the scroll. Do it on the D string, up to the bridge, down to the scroll. Let's add the bow to that. Let's go. As I do that, would you notice how similar this is to this? Our bowing and our shifting actions are they're so much the same thing, and they're connected to each other when we play. So, for example, we lift the weight, drop the weight, we lift the weight, drop the weight, our arms pull our hands, the lifting and dropping moves ahead of my hand, the lifting and dropping moves ahead of my hand. Okay? So now, would you notice also that as I'm moving up and down the fingerboard, I'm doing everything I can to keep the angle of the fingers the same on the fingerboard. So just have that be a little exercise. The whole fingerboard. And we're going to try to get over the idea of thinking of this part of the cello as where all the hard notes are, and this is where all the easy notes are. In some ways, it's just the opposite. Down here, we have to shift a lot. Up here, we lose that guy and gain that guy, and then we get to be violinists, and we can just do lots of things in one place. So lots of ways. Eventually, this part of the cello becomes an easier place to play on than down in the lower positions. Just a thought, just an idea. So, what is a shift? Well, I had a great teacher one time who I don't think he ever said shift. He called them connections. We're connecting a sound to a sound with what? Well, sound. And one of the only points I want to make today, I think the only serious thing I'm going to say today, has to do with how the bow gets connected to the left hand on shifting actions. One of the biggest obstacles to doing really beautiful connecting sounds is the fact that quick motions or long motions or fast motions often interfere with the use of the bow and make lumps in the sound that don't belong there. For example, we might go, if we shift fast, it makes our bow go fast, right? Something in your brain makes these arms want to do the same thing. So I've invented this little protocol. You see it there? Bow first, go inside, meaning to our transportation system, and shift slowly. So we want to work on doing our shifting motions as slowly and as smoothly as possible. Now, you can't always shift really slow, but you can shift as slow as possible. So, for example, here's a shift from first to fourth position. Very simple shift. And I want you to notice I'm gonna move the bow first, and then the shifting motion is happening in this part of the bow. Watch this. Here's a piece that lots of you know already. It says in Book 3, Cello Suzuki Book 3. And it can give us trouble because we have lots of quick motions in the left hand that can cause lumps in the bow if you don't remember to bow first. Bow first. Bow first. lift the weight, lift the weight, and here comes the big one. Oh dear. Oh, how am I going to fix that? Oh, I know. Bow first. Oh, I can fix it. I'm going to bow first and shift slowly. I'm going to bow first. This is called an articulated shift. I won't say any more about it. That's called an articulated shift. And here is one of the most challenging shifts in all of Book 3. How does this thing? So the trick is going to be bow first. So that the connecting sound is in the soft part of the bow. I like to go to do it with a slur. We have an option there. I know the music says to do a bow change there, which is, you know, perfectly fine. You could also go with a little option. You could shift on the ending finger rather than the starting finger. You have a lot of options. My students know, unfortunately, that I practice and say fingerings and bowings are made to be improved. So there's one right there. I think that's all we're going to say about shifting so far. There are lots more things involved in shifting, and I hope I'll be able to make some other short videos about that. So in the meantime, thanks for watching this and listening, and I'll say happy connecting. Okay, thanks so much. Bye-bye.